Hello dear listeners, welcome to your channel. This is the summary for Sabbath School Lesson 11 for the fourth quarter of the year 2025. Thank you for liking this video and sharing it with your friends and acquaintances. The title of this lesson is Living in the Land. The memory text is found in the book of Proverbs chapter 15 verse 1. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. At the end of this lesson, you will hear the song related to this verse. Dear listeners, in this lesson we will see the real-life tensions that develop when diverse people share a common mission, as Israel did when settling the Promised Land. Joshua 22 presents a dramatic story of misunderstanding between Israel's tribes, one that almost leads to civil war. Through it, God teaches powerful lessons about communication, unity, judgment, patience, and commitment. Israel had just finished years of battles. The tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh had faithfully fought alongside their brothers, even though their homes and families remained on the east side of the Jordan. With the conquest essentially complete, Joshua releases them to return home. But when they build a large altar near the Jordan River, the rest of Israel misreads it as rebellion against God. Assumptions, fear, memories of past failures like Achan, Baal Peor, and lack of communication nearly destroy the unity of God's people. Yet through patient dialogue and gentle answers, peace is restored. This experience teaches us how to live faithfully within community, especially the church, while guarding unity without compromising truth. Sunday, commitment. Joshua affirms that the tribes from the other side of the Jordan have fully satisfied the obligations set out by Moses and himself, which meant a significant dedication to and sacrifice on behalf of Israel's common cause. Joshua praises the eastern tribes for 6 to 7 years of faithful service during the conquest. They had left their families behind to support their brothers, demonstrating deep commitment, national unity, loyalty to God's mission, shared identity despite geographical separation. Their perseverance shows that service to others is ultimately service to God. Joshua's farewell appeal. Before they leave, Joshua urges them to love the Lord, to walk in His ways, to keep His commandments, to hold fast to Him, to serve Him with all their heart and soul. Their commitment must continue even after separation. He blesses them and sends them home in peace. Dear listeners, if we prayed for one another as Joshua prayed for them, our relationships in the church would be completely transformed. Monday lesson, Accusations. In this lesson we see misunderstanding. Upon returning home, the eastern tribes build a massive altar by the Jordan. The western tribes see this and immediately fear apostasy. They recall God commands only one altar for sacrifice. They recall past sins brought national disaster, and they recall idolatry spreads quickly and endangers all Israel. They conclude the altar is a sign of rebellion. Then identity crisis happened. 3 times the western tribes are called the whole congregation of Israel, implying the eastern tribes may be viewed as outsiders. Geography begins to threaten unity. The danger of jumping to conclusions. Western tribes decide to gather for war before seeking clarification. This shows how dangerous it is to misjudge motives without evidence. Jesus and Paul warn against rash judgment. Misinterpretations can grow easily, especially when communication is lacking. Tuesday lesson, haunted by the past. Before giving full credit to the rumors of what might be perceived as a declaration of independence, the 9½ tribes, labeled twice as the sons of Israel, send a delegation to clarify the intent and meaning of the altar. The delegation consisted of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the high priest, who would succeed Eleazar after his death. Phinehas already has gained some visibility as the priest who put an end to the debauchery of Israel at Baal Peor. They remind the eastern tribes of past sins, which had nationwide consequences. Their fear is that rebellion at the border may again lead to divine judgment. Israel's tragic history shapes its reactions. Likewise, our own painful experiences often influence how we interpret present events. But God's grace teaches us not to allow past wounds to distort current relationships. Wednesday lesson, a gentle answer. The answer of the accused, as straightforward and powerful as the accusation, constitutes both thematically and structurally the heart of the chapter. So far, The tribes have not replied to the accusations but instead have quietly listened to the allegations against them. Given the seriousness of the charges, their patience is exemplary as they display the true meaning of the proverb. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Though falsely accused, the eastern tribes respond with humility, patience, calmness, and God-centered speech. They invoke the divine names El, Elohim, Yahweh as a solemn assurance of innocence. They explain their true motivation that they never intended to offer sacrifices on the altar. They feared future generations might say, "You don't belong to Israel." The altar was meant as a memorial, not as a place of worship. Their desire was unity, not rebellion. Their gentle answer turns away wrath and reveals the truth. The Western tribes rejoice in discovering they were wrong. Pride does not prevent them from celebrating unity. Thursday lesson: conflict resolution. The story of Joshua 22 has several principles of communication that can apply to everyday human relationships in the family, church, and community. Let us extract 6 practical principles. 1. Communicate early. Don't keep silent until tension explodes. 2. Don't jump to conclusions. Avoid acting on rumors or assumptions. 3. Seek clarification before acting. 4. Be willing to sacrifice for unity. Western tribes even offer land if geography is causing spiritual division. 5. Use gentle replies. Avoid escalating accusations. 6. Rejoice when peace prevails. Admitting error is a sign of spiritual maturity. Unity must never dilute doctrine, justify sin, or suppress truth. But discipline is always the last resort, after patient efforts toward reconciliation. Friday lesson: further thought. Ellen White reflects, avoid harsh judgment and groundless suspicion. The Eastern tribes responded wisely with patience and courtesy. Even under false accusation, the innocent can remain calm because God vindicates his people. Christ's prayer for unity in John 17 still applies today. We must seek unity without sacrificing truth. Dear listeners, humility prevents us from assuming the worst of others. Old wounds influence our perception of new events. Reflection and prayer help break the cycle. James 1 verse 19 teaches us to be quick to listen, slow to speak. Listening builds understanding. Doing everything as to the Lord. This principle elevates daily tasks, reduces stress, guards us against resentment, aligns our hearts with God. In conclusion, Lesson 11 teaches that community life is fragile. Misunderstanding, assumptions, and past baggage can easily fracture unity. But when God's people practice honest communication, humility, gentle answers, patient listening, commitment to God, respect for one another, then peace, unity, and mission flourish. Joshua 22 becomes a powerful example of how God guides his people away from conflict and into restored fellowship, showing that unity is worth fighting for, but only with the weapons of love, kindness, and truth. God bless you.
A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Proverbs chapter 15 verse 1.